A very good afternoon, all. We have gathered for yet another interesting Ecotech talk today, and we have with us retired General Dr. Shri Pal, who is a Vishishta Seva Medal holder and the founder of BUNKERMAN, Engineering Consultants and Technocrats, a consultancy that mainly deals with the carbon dioxide removal from the environment. Our topic for the day is the importance of healthy and efficient air management system. Clients come to Dr. Shripal for his rich experience in this sector. He has been working in the area for more than a decade now and is a master in this area. He is presently dedicated towards building a sustainable ecosystem. We at XNECO are proud to have him for our EcoTech Talk. XNECO stands for Exploration, Networking, and Collaboration, and we are trying to build a platform for sustainable enterprises for the common good. Myself, Shrestha, and I'm the host for the day. Welcome, Dr. Shripal, for today's EcoTech Talk. My first question to you is, enlighten us about BunkerMan and what motivated you to start this company. What are the key objectives of the company?
Okay, good afternoon, Mrs. Bhattacharya. I'm firstly thankful to you for
Thank you, sir.
interacting with me and having this talk. So my name is Major General Dr. Shripal. I am a retired officer from Indian Army Corps of Engineers. I served in Indian Army for about 35 years, and then in 2011, I took premature retirement. During my service in Army, I worked on a very important technology, and that technology is nuclear protection technology. So I am a specialist in making underground structures, basically the nuclear bunkers and nuclear shelters. So that is my specialization. And I am happy to share with you that this technology was invented by me in India. And it has been used very effectively in our country to keep the nuclear deterrence uh, intact in our country. But after I retired from Indian Army in 2011, I started working on a new technology, and that is called pollution protection technology. So I found that when even I designed those underground facilities, so their basic problem is of taking out the carbon dioxide from the indoor air. So we started working on this concept. And particularly after second wave of Corona, I found that this technology can be used in our country for common man, because the technology was invented by me, and it was also practically experienced. I am having good about 35 years of experience, now 45 years of experience in this technology. So I thought that let me use it for the common man. But the only problem was that this technology was very costly, because till then it was only being used either in space missions or in underwater submarines or in underground nuclear bunkers. So obviously the technology was costing in crores and crores of rupees. A common man could not afford it. But for past about 10 years, I have been working to find a indigenous solution for it. Swadeshi technique जिसको बोलते हैं, totally made in India. And I have been able to bring down the cost of this technology. You will be surprised to know, from crores of rupees to only few lakhs of rupees.
That's wonderful.
The systems, the systems which India is still importing at a cost of 3 crore, 4 crore, 5 crore rupees, the better system than that we have made in India with this Indian technology, which is costing just about 50,000 rupees per person. It may be seeming unbelievable to you, but it is a fact.
Okay.
So from here, I have taken the mission after retirement that now this technology is so important that we can absorb. And what wonderful thing we are doing, that we are absorbing the carbon dioxide, and that is called VOCs, volatile organic compounds, from the air. So we started from these two elements, and after absorbing it, we are converting it into a mineral-rich organic manure. So the environment is getting cleaned continuously by this technology. Whatever pollutants from the air we absorb into our BunkerMan filters, we don't leave it back to the environment. So firstly, the indoor air quality is getting improved, and we get a very healthy and safe air in all indoors. Because I have carried out a survey for past about 5-6 years in India, and I found that most of the people, they are afraid of pollution outside, in the
Yes.
outside environment. And we have kept our doors and windows closed, and we are living indoors with split air conditioners. And whatever carbon dioxide and VOCs we generate inside the room, that remains inside only. And you will be surprised again that in one inhale and exhale, we human beings are multiplying carbon dioxide content in air by 146 times.
Okay.
Because when we breathe in the air, it contains only 0.3 or 0.5% of carbon dioxide. But
Okay.
when we exhale out the air, it contains 4.36% carbon dioxide.
Okay.
So this is the reason why health of the most of the people is deteriorating day by day. People are falling sick because we remain indoors and new ailments are being generated. Now, after that, recently for past about 3, 4 years, I have been interacting with some of the oil refineries in India. And in oil refineries, problem is still complicated because in all oil refinery, there are about 10 to 15 types of very toxic gases which are generated and they remain in the environment. So we started from an oil refinery in Guwahati in Assam. They gave us a problem of their data center and we tried to find the solution. And fortunately, we were 100% successful. So today, not only CO2 and VOCs, we can absorb any type of pollutant gases which are present in the air. And another success which we got that we when we use this technology in one of their data center, we found that we can reduce their electricity bill of air conditioners by more than 50%. So which is
Wonderful.
again a huge saving. Yeah.
Yes.
So this is a huge saving. Now, about 2 years back, when I opened this technology in India, there was a international conference by an organization, Shri. The scientists in India did not believe it. They say it is not possible. So far we were designing all air conditioning plants by changing the air, and that is called ACH, air change per hour. You see, air conditioning designers are aware that when you remain closed in a room with air conditioning system, you can cool the air. But the CO2 level keeps on increasing. And
Yes.
there are codes in India and abroad that this carbon dioxide level should not exceed more than 800 parts per million. So
Mhm.
they try to bring it to below 800 or below 1000 parts per million. So what we do, because outside air has the CO2 content about 500, 600 parts per million. Inside it reaches 1500, 2000. So we mix up the air from outside to dilute this CO2. So with my system, if we absorb the CO2 inside, then this air change per hour is not required. And
Yes.
this is a huge saving because every hour, 4 to 12 times, you are taking the hot air inside in India
Yes.
and cooling it again. So this
Yeah.
total energy is saved.
Yeah.
So this is a very success story now, and we have implemented this. There have been about 7, 8 case studies now, not only Guwahati, but other places also. I have used this system in my factory in Patti, Himachal Pradesh. Other factories have also used it in New Delhi, Noida, Greater Noida, even in Meerut, UP. We have used this, and we found in all case studies that this is giving very wonderful results. So this is the technology. So now this is my aim that, as you know, the global warming is taking place throughout the world. This is not the problem only in India because carbon dioxide content in air prior to 19th century used to be
Yeah.
about 280, 300 parts per million. But over
Yes.
past few decades, it has now increased to 425 parts per million is the world average. But in place
Yes.
like Delhi, it is crossing even 500, 600 parts per million in
Yes.
dirty places. So it is required to be implemented not only in India, throughout the world. And we can reverse this global warming and climate change. Again, you may not believe it. We cannot only stop this rising trend of CO2 in the environment, but we can even reverse this with this technology.
Wonderful. In
And
fact,
that is our aim.
yes, and even the
Yeah.
health deteriorates if the carbon content is very high, CO2 content is very high in the air. So I was going through
Yes.
your information in that you had mentioned that how different CO2 levels deteriorates the health of a person. So a person feels
Correct.
energetic when there's good amount of oxygen in the air, but a high amount of CO2 brings down their performance level also. Now, this also brings me
Correct.
to an interesting question, like how does switching to sustainable ecosystem contributes to the overall ESG strategy for commercial and industrial consumers?
Yes. So in this, I will explain to you later on with the help of a graph. But you see, our concept is firstly, as I told you, so far everybody is talking of pollution in the air, carbon emission, and but most of the people are concentrating only on industries and vehicles. Uh, so I have carried out the studies. The pollution in India, I have taken the statistics of 2021, and I am of the view and opinion that pollution in India by industries and vehicle is only 72%. Balance 28% is by we, the human beings, and the living stock, our animals, our pet dogs, cats, which stay with us. So this
Yes.
total contribution is about 13% by human beings and 15% by pet dogs. So this
Okay.
28% needs to be arrested first. And
Mhm.
you will agree with me that it is very difficult to convince the industries and common public, but it is very easy to convince ourselves. We stay in a house and we need the clean environment inside the
Yes.
house. We need healthy air for us, for our children, for
Yes.
our old parents.
Yes.
So that's why we should work it out. So I have taken this that the population, India is a population rich country. We are 140 crores of population with us. So let us not take this population as liability. Let us take it as asset. If each one of us decides to bring down this carbon level in the atmosphere, we can do it. Because one person generates so much of carbon dioxide, you will be surprised to know that we need 17 trees per person to capture that.
Okay. Okay.
A
And we
common
have
man
a
like
very
you and
high
me,
population.
yes, we have very high population. And that is the reason this global warming is taking place. Because in one day, one person like you and me, we exhale out about 1.5 kg of carbon dioxide. In a
Yes.
year, we exhale out 450 kg of carbon dioxide in one year. But one plant, one tree can only absorb 20 to 25 kg of carbon dioxide. So one person needs 17 trees for ourselves. Then we need about 20 trees for our pet animals. And we need 94 trees for other industries and cars, the carbon which we generate on this earth.
Yes.
So in India, if we want to stop this rising trend of carbon dioxide today, we need 131 trees per person.
Okay.
Whereas we have only 20, whereas we have only 28 trees per person. So number of trees in India are very less. There are
Yes.
countries in America, South Africa, where countries are having more than 15,000, 10,000 trees per person. So we should be thankful to those countries that we are having still good environment at their cost. And see our neighbors. We are having 28 trees per person. We are still okay. See our neighbors. Pakistan has got just 5 trees per person. Bangladesh just 6 trees per person. The countries like UAE, Singapore, uh, they have almost 1 to 0 trees only because their number population is the land area is very
And
less.
yeah, the climatic
Yeah,
conditions also.
climatic conditions are such, they are all desert areas.
Yes.
So, and that they are affecting our climate. Now, many people ask me this question that why there is a problem of pollution in Delhi nowadays in December. Earlier, we were blaming Parali from Rajasthan, but now Parali season is also over. And
Yeah.
you can see it is graph 4 implemented in Delhi. And AQI has crossed almost 450, 500. It is reaching again.
Yes.
So there is no Parali burning now. But why
Yes.
this pollution is rising? The reason is this because we have concentrated the population from villages to Delhi and NCR. We
Yes.
are living in multi-story building. Now you can imagine 20, 30, 40-story buildings, and it is full of population. And so this population, when we are generating carbon dioxide, we are adding carbon dioxide in the environment, we are multiplying it by 146 times every inhale and exhale. Every 6 seconds, we multiply the carbon dioxide content because of us in environment by 146 times. So this is what is cause of concern. And since carbon dioxide and methane, these are two types of green gases, they are heavy, and global warming is basically because of this reason. And because of this global warming, there's a climate change. The effect of climate change we all are witnessing now.
In fact, the
So
technology
this
you
is
have brought in is really very good because it actually
yes.
absorbs
So
carbon dioxide.
yes. So I will come to that sustainability because this absorb carbon dioxide And after that, it converts into organic manure. Now, this organic manure goes to the roots of the trees and plants. It is mixed in the earth. So our
Yes.
concept is that pollution, we should move from air to soil. And
Mm-hmm.
this will again regain the sustainable
Yes.
system. After all, prior to 19th century, why CO2 level was between 280, 300 parts per million for thousands and thousands of years? There was no problem. The reason was this, because whatever carbon dioxide we were generating on Earth, our natural system of trees and plants and sea was able to absorb it. But in our own greed, after 19th century, we did uncontrolled industrialization, and we changed our habits. We want air conditioning everywhere. Air conditioning is the maximum load in your house, also in industries also. In fact, statistics say that 50 to 70% of the electricity load is on air conditioners today. And by this Bunkerman technology, if you can reduce this load by 50%, there is a huge saving in the country. And
Yes.
imagine the saving of energy in the whole world.
Yes.
So this is what is going to change the scenario, and this will reverse this global warming, and the sustainable development goals will be met by this technology. Our aim is to whatever system was existing prior to 19th century, it should come back. So एक तरह से in one way we are creating the artificial trees. You will be surprised to know in the
Yes.
house in which I am sitting, this house today has got the equipment with my technology which can remove, rather it is removing carbon dioxide from the air equivalent to 3,000 trees. Not,
Wonderful.
not a joke. I have invited the government officials. They are coming here. They are seeing it every day. There are visitors to this house, and they are really surprised to see that what a wonderful technology. Now, if you want, let us say, to clean the environment in place like Delhi or even Bangalore, the city which you are, this is the technology. If it is given to each house, each one of us will absorb carbon dioxide from the environment equal to at least 1,000 trees in each house. That will improve the uh, environment. That will remove the pollution from the environment. But unfortunately, let me also tell you, I am reading about Bangalore also. More than about 100 crores of rupees are spent on this pollution control. But that is basically being spent in Delhi also, in water sprinkling, in all other activities. They are the stopgap arrangements. I have told the government of Delhi here that whatever solutions you are absorbing, you are sprinkling water from helicopter, you are from drones, you intend to do the artificial rains. But what does this artificial rain does? This will only arrest the dust particles from the air. You see, second point is that for a common man and even for the government, they think that particulate matter, dust particles in the air is only pollution. That is a pollution, no doubt about it. But that pollution is not that dangerous because you can put on the mask and move outside. Your air particles will be arrested by a mask,
Yes.
by a
Yes.
filter. But the gases which are unseen, you are not able to see carbon dioxide, you are not able to see carbon monoxide in the environment, and particularly indoor environment. And that is what is affecting our health. And recently we held a meeting. In fact, I have been attending the conferences at national, international level. Very interesting international conferences have been held recently in Delhi and Gurgaon, where doctors attended the meeting. And for medical patients, you will be surprised to know we have got a Indian standard. Our own Indian standards say that breathing air for a patient should not contain more than 500 parts per billion of CO2.
Yes.
It is a legislative requirement.
Mm-hmm.
But if in Delhi the normal CO2 level is more than 500, 600 ppm, so what will that patient to do? What will be the effect of that patient?
Yes.
So now we are giving this system, and this system has got Bunkerman technology can reduce the CO2 content in your indoor environment as desired by your patients. We have carried out the experiment. We have shown it to the doctor that we can reduce it below 500, 300, 400, even 200 parts per million type of air can be given to the critical patients. So they are very happy, and soon they have approached us to provide some solutions to their hospitals, even the ambulances.
Yeah.
Recently, there was a conference on trauma and stroke patients, and the doctors were saying that if a patient reaches their hospital, we can save 90% of the patients. But most of the patients who suffer injury in accidents, they die between accident place and the hospital. This is one of the reasons. because the first aid which you can give to a patient who has suffered the stroke or injury in a trauma, then first thing is the breathing air. So
Yes.
they don't get the breathing air. Even in ambulances, we put the patient in the ambulance, close the ambulance from all sides, and there are two, three attendants inside. You will be surprised to know I have carried out the experiments. If you travel in a closed car in place like Delhi, the CO2 level in that environment goes to 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 parts per million inside the car. Now
Okay.
imagine that patient
Mhm.
needs a breathing air of
Yes.
500, not more than 500 ppm CO2. And we are giving him the air of 2,000, 3,000. So what will happen? Will he die? Or
Yes.
we can save a lot of patients, lot of lives can be saved by this technology. So now we are developing a system which can be used in car and in the ambulances, and we can save the life of such patients. They call it golden hour. First 1 hour
Yes.
is very important. In fact, I have
Yes.
suggested that now it should be golden minutes also, because each minute is important for a patient who is traveling from an accident place to the hospital as a trauma patient. So we should provide him at least the required breathing air as per the Indian standards.
Yes.
So
What
these
we
are
need
some solutions.
What we need
Yeah,
is basically a healthy and efficient air management system, not only in
correct.
our inside the ambulance, but also inside the hospital, homes, everywhere. Because we,
Everywhere.
as living being, we absorb oxygen and we exhale a lot of carbon dioxide. And the number of people, the concentration of people is very high. So this actually brings raises the carbon dioxide level. So in offices also, if this
Yes.
technology is implemented, then the work environment will be more healthy, and the work performance of the workers will also improve in that case. And
Yes, ma'am.
yeah, so now we move on to the next question. So it's like, how can organization measure the impact of efficient air management system initiatives, and what role do you as advisors play in the process? How can this be
Okay.
measured?
Okay. I will show it to you. Can I share the screen, please?
Sure, sir. Sure, sir.
Okay. इसको screen को share. Hmm. Yeah. Can you see the screen, madam?
No, I'm not able to see it right now.
कौन सा present is on? एक मिनट. ये. Yeah, tell me when you are able to see the screen.
Okay. Yes, yes. Now it is
Yeah.
visible.
Okay. So before I answer your question, just give me 2 minutes, whatever we have talked earlier. You see, madam, this is the outside air in the environment.
Okay.
It contains nitrogen 79%, which is a neutral gas, oxygen 20.94%, and carbon dioxide very less, 0.03, 0.04%. So when we inhale this, the nitrogen comes out as it is. Oxygen is consumed by our body and CO2 level increases. So this is causing the problem. Now, this was the graph I was talking about. This
Yes.
graph shows the carbon dioxide content in air from the year 1000 to 2016. Now, you can imagine that for thousands and thousands of years here, up to 19th century, in fact, the level in environment level of CO2 was 280 parts per million or 300 parts per million. But the problem started after 19th century when this industrial era or industrial revolution started coming. Now it is increasing asymptomatically, exponentially. Now it is increasing. And today
Yes.
the world average, as I told you, is 425. But in place like Delhi, it is already crossing 500 parts per million. And
Mm-hmm.
it is increasing every year. You can see this 2022, 417, 419, 422. Every year it increases by a factor of 3 to 4. So if we do
Okay.
not arrest this rising trend, then this is our future. This is the graph, same graph I have plotted.
Uh-huh.
By 2090, we will have CO2 content in air increasing the safe limit of 800 parts per million. And
Okay.
this 2090 is not far off. In fact, in Delhi, it has already reached.
Okay.
Then by 2200, the carbon dioxide content in outside environment will reach a very dangerous level of 5,000 parts per million.
Okay.
This is expected from the, if we don't arrest this. So what will happen at 5,000 parts per million, you can see. It may
Mm-hmm.
lead to serious oxygen deprivation, resulting permanent brain damage, coma, or in death. It
Mm-hmm.
means there will be no life left on Earth after 2200 if we do not take
Yes.
action today to arrest this global warming
Yes.
and the pollution. The safe limit has been specified here by Shri, American Society of Heating, Refrigeration, Air Condition. They say that it should not cross 700 and 1,000 parts per million. Because even at 700, 800, complaints of stuffiness and odors start coming. We all feel it. I
Yes.
have carried out a lot of studies for past about 2, 3 years throughout India. General drowsiness, you can feel in your room. People
Mhm.
go to sleep. Even
Yes.
in car
Yes.
when we travel, you go to sleep very fast.
Yes.
Then after 2000, there are adverse health effects. So
Okay.
this is what is worrying now the world, and that's why whole world is talking of carbon capture, carbon emission, and they feel a danger to the basic survival of human life on Earth.
Yes.
Now, what was happening for all these years? This was the sustainable cycle already existing on the Earth.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever CO2 we were being generated by us on Earth, our trees and plants were able to absorb this, and they were providing us oxygen and food. And this was a sustainable cycle. What
Yes.
we disturbed here. We created industries, we created a lot of traffic, and then we created extra carbon dioxide on Earth because of these reasons, because of industries and traffic and our air conditioning buildings. Now, and on top of that, we started deforestation. We started
Yes.
cutting trees, and the population moved from villages to the big cities like Delhi, NCR, and the trees, number of trees are reducing. So what is the solution? So this is the Bunkerman concept. This is what we have got, that whatever this extra carbon dioxide which we are generating on Earth by ourselves or by
Yes.
any other means, which is not being absorbed by the natural system. So that
Yes.
should be absorbed by a technology like Bunkerman technology. So we are absorbing these into our filters. And after our filters get saturated, filters take about 2 to 6 months time to get saturated. But after 6 months, we provide new filters, and old filters we send it to our organic manure plant. This is located in Uttar Pradesh, UP, and we convert it into organic manure. This
Um,
organic manure is given to the farmers, and this organic manure provides those nutrients to the trees and plants. And trees and plants, they production is increased, they provide us more oxygen and food. So this way it will be a sustainable cycle. So this is our concept. Now government is taking all initiatives, like we are also promoting grow more trees, green buildings, non-conventional energy, CNG. But all these measures we are taking for last about 30 years. But
yes.
despite all these efforts by the government, by the society, is this graph stopping? No, it is not stopping. It is still rising. So what is the reason for this, madam? Reason is this only what I explained, that each person is multiplying CO2 in the environment by a factor of 146 times. You can see this calculation here. And there are other gases inside the house, VOCs they call it.
Mm-hmm.
So they are generated from all these furniture. So we absorb carbon dioxide and VOCs in the house. Just I'm thinking of, and we convert it into organic manure and send it back to organic manure plant.
Yes.
Now see this chart, madam. This is an army. This is what I was talking about. CO2
Yes.
emission in India, 2021, I have calculated. This is the government figure taken from the industry, that fossil fuel and industries are responsible only for 72% of carbon emission on the earth in India. We human beings are responsible for 13%. Our livestock is 50%. And as I told you, one person needs 17 trees. So we need total 131 trees in India if you want to stop this rising trend of CO2. But available trees with us are only 28. Now tell me, is it possible by these campaigns that grow more trees? Can we ever reach this figure from 28 trees per person to 131 trees per person?
Oh,
Impossible. And see this international statistics. We are here, India is having 28 trees per person.
okay.
But see this, a small country like Suriname in USA is having 15,000 trees per person. Canada is having 8 to 9,000 trees. Finland is having 4,000, and Russia is having 4,000, Australia 3,000, Sweden. So all these countries are having more than 1,000 trees. These countries are having more than 100, 500 trees per person. And we should be thankful in India to all these countries which are having more than 1,000 and five,
Yes.
600 trees per person. And see our neighbors. This is a bitter truth. Pakistan has just 5 trees per person.
Okay.
Israel has 2 trees. Egypt 1. Singapore 0. Saudi Arabia 0. Qatar 0. UAE 0. Bangladesh 6. So, and they are the one who are affecting our climate. And that's why India's cities like Delhi, Bangalore are suffering because of the high level of pollution.
Yes.
Now, uh, I will give you some successful case study. This is one case study which we have provided in Guwahati refinery recently. In their data and control center, we provided this new technology of the system. And ever since we have provided the new technology, their corrosion problem is totally solved. And we are able to save electricity more than 30% electricity because
Wow.
of that concept that we have avoided the air change per hour. So
Yes.
if you avoid air change per hour, your AC plant design capacity is reduced by 25 to 30% in first step. And then when you run it, you again save electricity of 25 to 30%. So total about 50 to 60% is the saving in this project. And whatever cost they have incurred, their cost will be recovered in 18 months' time. And after that, they will be saving about 2 lakhs rupees per month. Their total electricity bill was about 5 lakh per month. Now it has been reduced to 3 lakh per month. So
Wonderful.
imagine the advantage of this technology. And it
Yes.
is a practical thing. And not only Guwahati, it has been proved in other places also, like in Delhi, I'm using this system in my house, in factories, in some of other offices have been used. Everybody is agreeing with this concept that yes, it saves electricity. Now, and see these type of gases in a refinery. These were very dangerous gases, which we have been able to absorb and
Okay.
convert them into organic manure. That is also a challenge.
Okay.
Now, this is the small system. This can be integrated with the existing air conditioning plant. This is just about 4 meters long, 1.5 meter wide, and 3 meter high. And this is what we are suggesting in all air conditioned buildings in India, whether it is a hotel or it is a hospital. You install this plant, and this will cost only less than 1 crore. It is costing 50 lakhs, 60 lakhs, 70 lakhs rupees, and that cost will be recovered by the organization within about 2 years of time. And after that, it will give the saving. Um,
Yes.
Imagine the amount of energy which is being wasted by
Yeah, this
air
also
change per hour.
brings, sir, this also
Yeah.
brings me to another question. It's about what challenges do commercial and industrial consumers face when they try to transition into this type of technology. What are the challenges they
Yes.
face?
Now, madam, first challenge is to get convinced because seeing is believing.
Okay.
2 years back, as I told you, I opened this with the scientists because it is a new technology. It is a miracle. Uh,
Okay.
uh, uh, so people were not believing. Still, there are hesitation for the people that no, we cannot survive in a closed environment without fresh air.
Uh-huh.
But on the contrary, everybody is staying in a closed environment and without fresh air. And where is the fresh air? Air outside these refineries are all polluted. Today in Delhi,
Yes.
outside air is polluted. Tell me. So you stay inside and you create more pollution. So this is the finding that the indoor air quality in India, I'm talking about, is 3 to 4 times more toxic than outside environment.
Okay.
This we have to understand. Outside environment, carbon dioxide level is still below 800. It is safe. Outside, the danger is only of the particulate matter, PM 2.5 has
Yes.
risen more. The AQI index in India, we are declaring basically based on PM 2.5 and PM 10 and one or two more gases. There are total 8 parameters, madam, in AQI, air quality index. I think you must be knowing PM
Yes.
2.5, PM 10, carbon monoxide, ammonia, ozone, sulfur dioxide, nitrogen dioxide, lead. So these are 6 parameters other than PM 2.5. But the bitter truth is that we are only measuring 2.5 PM, 2.5 PM 10 and one or two odd gases. All parameters are still not being monitored in India. Uh, this is the bitter fact. I have spoken to the officers of the Pollution Control Board also. So they have certain limitations. The instruments are not available even today. And therefore, a common man also thinks that pollution outside is only dust particles, haze in the air. That is the pollution.
Yes.
And we have issued the graph for instructions. Like in Delhi, we have closed all the schools. We have said the students should stay home.
Yeah.
But and home also PM 2.5
But
level is same what it
that
is
is not a
outside.
solution. That is actually
That is correct.
I mean, yeah, it is not a solution.
So
So the bunker
So
man is actually providing
solution,
the solution.
solution, yes, solution is this only, that in schools also you should have filtration system like this,
Yes.
and at home also you should have filtration system like this. In your vehicles also you should have a filtration system like this, so that you get clean and healthy air. That's all. So this is our concept, madam, and this is the big challenge. And fortunately, this challenge is now being overcome by the saving of more than 50 to 60% in electricity charges. This is a huge saving, and most of the customers are coming to us because of this reason, that they will be saving the energy, and this energy can be used for other development works. I have even suggested to government in the center and in Delhi that they want to give subsidy or free electricity to the Delhiites. So I have
Yes.
suggested them that you use this technology firstly to start with in your all AC buildings, AC plants, hospitals, administrative buildings, and then you save the electricity. And out of that electricity, you can give subsidy to the customers. And you
Yes.
will clean the environment, you will give them a healthy air. So this is a very good system, what I feel. And I think people are convinced. Now,
And
slowly
less
and slowly, government
electricity,
officers are
less,
coming to me.
yes,
Yeah,
less electricity consumption will also lead to less amount of fossil fuels being burned. So that
correct.
also will bring down the CO2 levels.
Yeah. And I come to your question now, that how it will be measured. I will tell you, I will just, these are the filters. Uh, I will come to that slide. Yeah, this is the system, madam.
Okay.
This we are giving in the houses. So this system firstly gives the clean air. It absorbs carbon dioxide and VOC in
Okay.
the environment. And here there is a system, computerized system. This records how much CO2 has been absorbed by this system. So this measures the quantity of carbon dioxide being absorbed in the room.
Okay. Okay.
I will show. This is the, it monitors carbon dioxide level. So see, I was showing you this system. This is the indoor air quality management system, which is used in a house or in an office. So
Okay.
this has this firstly removes the CO2 and carbon dioxide, and also this can be used in button-up mode that I will explain you subsequently. But it records the CO2 and TVOC. And what I was talking to you, your question was that how you record it, how much carbon dioxide it has absorbed. So we
Yes.
have given a setting button here. If you press this setting button, then it is displayed here, that filter running time. Now, this particular filter has run for 24 hours, 21 minutes, 15 seconds, and it has absorbed 2.07 kg of carbon dioxide. So this is recorded. This is based on the calculations and physical data collected by this device inside the room. So this way, this will be an official, authentic record, which can be even audited by organizations who come for auditing of the carbon capture points.
Perfect.
So this way, this way it solved the problem. And one more thing I wanted to tell you, that this particular system, it works in two modes. One is the normal mode. Second is the button-up mode. So in normal mode, it cleans only the CO2 and the VOC from the indoor environment. But if there is a danger outside, like it happened in Corona, or
Okay.
there is a biological war, or there is a chemical war, or
Okay.
even if there is a nuclear war outside, and you want to be safe in your house, so then you go into the button up mode. We have given a switch here. You switch this to the right side, and you start. You have gone into button up mode. So button up mode means there is danger in the outside area, air. Outside air is toxic, and you have to survive for few days in your house before the aid comes from the government from outside. So in this case, you have to store food and water in your house for about 8 days or 10 days. And then you close your all outdoor doors and windows in the house. And then you change this button position to the button up mode. So first thing what this system does in button up mode, it adds uh, compressed air from this side. From right side, we have given a compressed air switch. There are two oxygen cylinders which are inside this particular unit, and it adds oxygen to the room so that the pressure is remaining. So we can set the pressure also here. So it will keep your room in positive pressure. Why we need positive pressure? Because if though we are sealing the house from all directions, but if there is some leakage of air, the outside air should not enter your house if internal positive pressure is maintained. So because of that, the unit automatically maintains a positive pressure and you set the reading of positive pressure. Also, you can stay in your house for about 20-24 hours without need of any oxygen because in the house, there is already more than 20% oxygen present, but this will take time to reduce. So once the level of oxygen comes down to about 17%, then there is another this unit, there is another nozzle called oxygen. So oxygen is automatically added from here to the room, and the oxygen level is again made from 17 to 21%. So this way, this button-up mode condition, this gives you the total safety in your house. You can stay in your house for 7 to 10 days comfortably without breathing any air from outside. So this is a great achievement, and this is the facility generally which is provided in submarines which go underwater. And this facility is also used in nuclear bunkers, where you have to survive in a closed environment without taking any outside air for human inhalation. So this will be a great achievement for India to provide safety to the all citizens, common citizens of India, in
Yeah.
case of any such disaster like biological disaster, chemical disaster, or even corona type disaster. So
Wonderful.
that's all. Yeah. Any other question, ma'am?
Yeah, I my last question for the talk is this is regarding the what message would you like to give to the young entrepreneurs who are working in this area?
Yeah. For young entrepreneurs, I've been giving lecture to colleges also and universities also, and there I have been telling the students that firstly, I have got very good ideas in my mind to work on few projects. Like I have come up to this stage to give this system, but there are some new ideas in my mind where a lot of R&D is still required. I will share with you that just a minute. Now, these are some systems we have got for hospitals, these bigger systems, since we are passing through the slides. So they
Yeah.
can remove CO2 from the environment equal to 425 trees. So these are for 25%. Similarly, we have got units for 50% and even up to 75%. And one unit can absorb CO2 from an environment equal to more than 1,200 trees. So that is how this is. Now, another point I want to convey to you and to the youngsters also. Recently, Government of India has published a notification, Green Credit Program. They are giving a lot of boost to such technologies like BUNKERMAN technology, that if you use a technology which can clean the environment, you can claim green credits now in India. So this Gazette notification was issued in October 2023, and detailed guidelines are being issued now by the government. So whosoever will be using this technology, they can claim the green credits or carbon credits from the government. Now, these are some thoughts for future uh, generations and for youngsters. Like you see, you have seen that each human being is generating carbon dioxide while inhaling and exhaling. So when you meet in a cafe for a meeting, if two persons are meeting, so we are now making these small devices, Bunkerman CO2 and TVOC removal system. This device weighs only about 1 kg. So when you leave for your office in the morning, you take this device with you. It has got a small filter which weighs about 1 kg material only. And wherever you are speaking to somebody, you place this device. This can be switched on. This works on battery. It can be recharged. And then what happens that whatever CO2 you are generating while inhaling and exhaling, it will be absorbed by your device. And whatever your opposite person is doing, it will uh, be stored by this device. So this way, even human beings will not pollute the environment. So this is a cultural change which is required to be adopted now. And I think very soon the young generation will learn this requirement. They will be convinced and they will be using this requirement. Because earlier people in India were not even putting on masks, but Corona taught us the importance
Yes.
of the mask. And now everybody is putting on masks. Even people were not putting on seat belts while traveling on vehicle. But now it has become our habit. The moment you sit in a car,
Yes.
your hand goes to the seat belt.
Yes.
So this is just a matter of culture. In Japan, in countries like Japan, people have been following such a good habits for citizens. Now, similarly, when you travel in a metro, take your device with you. And this R&D has been completed. Very soon, we will be manufacturing this device and sending it to the market. It is not yet reached the market level, but this is the thought for future uh, consideration. Some more R&D is required to be done in this. Now, secondly, in cars, as I told you earlier, when you sit in a car, within 5 to 10 minutes, you travel in a car because the space is restricted and the CO2 level rises to 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 parts per billion. People go to sleep. You feel nausea also. Some people vomit also while traveling in car or bus.
Yes.
So this is the reason the CO2 content is much more. So we are
Okay.
devising this device. R&D is going on. Very soon, we will come out with a solution for this also. So this is the project which can be taken by young generation, students, young entrepreneurs. Under our guidance, we will guide them how to do this. Some R&D is also required in this, and government's help is required for R&D because now whatever research I have done, this is my own personal effort. There's no government help or government aid being given to invent this technology. But if government supports this technology and there are schemes in the government, then this technology can be developed that we can have a system in cars. Even
Yes.
outside, we can place some systems in the car which will clean the environment. So you can see this. Each vehicle can remove carbon dioxide from the environment with bunkerman technology equivalent to 70 to 500 trees per vehicle. Now you
Mhm.
can imagine we are blaming the traffic on the roads. They are creating pollution. But with bunkerman technology, if this is implemented after due research, then these moving traffic on road will clean the environment. They will
Yes.
be like moving forest on wheels. So this is the concept which we should adopt. Similarly, in the houses, I have already told you, we are shifting the people from villages to multi-story houses. And even if you have a building having 100 flats, this can clean the environment equal to 20,000 trees. So concrete jungle जो हैं, they can clean the environment 1,000 times better than the green forest. This is our mission. Similarly, in trains, I have recommended to the railway minister in India, because when you travel in the train, we have carried out same thing happens in the train also. Though we are having air conditioning system, but CO2 level inside goes to 2,000, 3,000 parts per million. It is, I have not found anywhere less than 1,500 parts per million CO2 in the indoor air in the trains. Even the best trains recently introduced in India, I have uh, carried out the survey, and the CO2 level should be below 800,000 ppm, but
Yes.
nowhere it is found less than 1,000 ppm. So if you
For
provide this
aircraft,
system of,
aircrafts also it would
pardon,
be the same. In aircrafts
in
also.
aircraft also, madam, in aircraft also, I have found when we board the flight, I have personally checked while boarding the flights, the CO2 level in the aircraft goes to 3,000, 2,500 parts per million. But after the flight takes off, then they have got a very good system of refreshing the air. They add fresh air again, the compressed air. And then the CO2 level is generally kept around 1,100, 1,200 parts per million. It is still not less than 800 all
Okay.
aircraft during flights. And that's why most of the people in the aircraft also go to sleep very early. Just have
Yes.
your breakfast, one meal, and you go to sleep.
Yes.
So it is a health hazard in most of the aircraft, but the aircraft condition is slightly better because they are well designed. And I have spoken to some of the pilots also what they do. So they do not have any control on CO2. It is all automatically in the design of the aircraft. The
Okay.
technical staff on ground sets the reading, and generally, they once the aircraft takes off, then there is no problem. But while boarding or while waiting before uh, coming out of the aircraft, the CO2 content is beyond acceptable limits, and it is a health hazard.
Okay.
So in trains, we will save this. With the
Yes.
bunkerman technology, if you use it, imagine a train, even if it is having 20 bogies, each bogie is having 72 persons, and a moving train can clean the environment equivalent to 24,000 trees. So this is the concept for future. Let future generation work on it. Let government accept it. Give some funds for more R&D, and this is possible. That moving traffic on roads will clean the environment. Moving trains will clean the environment, and this is the conclusion that we have to adopt sustainable process today to save our earth for our future generations. Public awareness as education is must. That's what you and me are doing today. we have to spread this education and awareness of our public that yes, there is a technology which exists, and we have to save this. And I have written to Prime Minister, I have written to all ministries that we have to save this world from destruction. हमें दुनिया को तबाही से बचाना है.
True.
And India can do it. India can do it, madam, because the technology of BUNKERMAN is totally Indian technology. It has been made in India, made for India first. And I have requested our Prime Minister Modi ji that please take up this. In G20 summit, I gave this point that you have the cooperation of other world, other cities, other countries. And we have to move on your philosophy of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. And we have to do it today. As President Obama once said in COP21, that we are the first generation to feel the impact of climate change. And probably we are the last generation that can do something about it, because our future generations may not get a chance to
Yes.
stop this rising trend. It will be too late. So time to do it is today.
Yes.
And we can do it. The Indian technology can do it. And we can do it not only for India, we can do it for the world. So we can
Very
save
true.
the world from destruction by rising pollution, global warming, and climate change. So this is a wonderful weapon in the hand of India today. I have been saying that nuclear bomb were the weapons of mass destruction. Now this technology of BUNKERMAN is a weapon of mass protection. We
Yes.
can protect the world not only from pollution, we can protect the entire world even from nuclear bomb effect, even for nuclear, biological, chemical weapons. Let us say there is a strike on India, 1 or 2 cities will be destroyed, that's all. But for rest of the India, our Indian citizens should have enough protection. And
Yes.
this technology can give protection to a common man
Very true.
throughout India, throughout the world. Thank you, madam.
Yes,
This
sir.
is the thing. Any
Thank
more
you so
questions?
much,
I will
sir.
be speaking.
Yeah. So we go back. I mean, we can close the screen, sir.
Okay. Yeah, we can close this
Yes.
and go back.
So it was really great listening to you.
बोला?
Yes,
नहीं
sir.
वो सामने दिखाई तो देना चाहिए स्क्रीन आ रहा है अच्छा ओके या
Yes, sir.
screen sharing है स्टॉप ओके yeah madam yeah I'm back
Yes, yeah. So it was
yeah
really great listening to you, and we were the information on Bunkerman technology that you have shared is of great value to our viewers, and I'm sure they will benefit from it. Even the future generation, they have come to know about a new technology, they will benefit, and also since the transition process into Bunkerman technology is very simple, so I'm sure, and it is cost effective, so I'm sure many industry people would be ready to accept this in their organizations. We are really thankful for your time, sir, and the great inputs that
thank
you
you
have given. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, sir.
thank you very much and thank you viewers for listening to my views thank you
Thank you, sir.
goodbye jai hind
Jai Hind.